Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Kasia Kynes. I'm the CEO and founder of EBV Global Institute, and it's my great pleasure to invite you to a holiday training, how to survive holidays if you have EBV. I have some amazing tips for you. So let's get started. Let me just look at my notes here. So we're going to talk about the 5 best and 5 worst food strategies in terms of EBV, and I'm also going to share my personal clinical strategies, how to navigate the meal itself for your optimal digestion. Because at the end of the day, I am a clinical nutrition and I've been doing this work for almost 20 years. I know a little bit of this and that, how to support you. And then I'm going to share with you a PDF we created with Thanksgiving ideas for dinner that are totally EBV approved. And these are my favorite, actually. So that's what we're sharing. And then as a bonus, I'm going to also suggest 3 optimal supplements that I would pick for the holiday season to really ease your stress level, because stress ultimately reactivates EBV. So let's get going. First of all, let's talk about choice. In our community, the problem that I'm seeing is that people don't understand what you're going through, and especially family. Friends come and go, but family's always there. And at certain point, the family members literally or figuratively may start rolling their eyes because you just continue being sick and you're not getting the right help, and they don't understand why. The concept of health at least in America is, you have a problem, you fix it, get medicated, and move on. But EBV it's not that simple. And so if you don't have bleeding ulcers, I always joke, if you don't have bleeding ulcers from your cheek, oozing from your cheek, people don't really recognize and don't understand EBV. Even doctors don't understand EBV, so you can't blame your family. So we have to give your family members, your loved ones, your friends grace, because it's really hard for them to help you and support you. They can't, wrap their head around it. So when we walk into the holiday season, holiday gatherings, especially around meals, when you may have a lot of restrictions with food because you're so compromised, it can be tricky emotionally. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But I want to address the point of choice. You do have choice. You always have a choice to say no this time and say, I'm just too sick. I'm sorry. Period. End of story. And it's fine. They're gonna hold your place, hold your space, and it's okay. Nobody's gonna die. No, nobody's gonna cry. It's okay to say no if you really don't have the capacity to even get yourself into the car to drive to your family, or let alone, God forbid, having to get on the plane and fly when you are so compromised. So honor your body, honor how compromised you are. If you don't have the tools, if you're not working with anyone, if you right now are in the pits of EBV, just take it easy on yourself. So I just need to address that, because you do have a choice, and give yourself grace as well. It is what it is. There's millions of people in your situation. Actually, you're not alone. It's not fun, I know. So let's move on to the best strategies for foods. Organics whenever possible. Organic foods, please, because environmental toxins are hard and can trigger reactivation of EBV, plain and simple. Number 2, pick whole foods. And a whole food is the food that has only one ingredient and that you can imagine growing. So, there's a difference between orange and orange juice, right? And they work in the body very differently. So just pick wherever you cook for holidays, wherever you want snacks, just pick whole foods whenever you can. And the benefit of those is also that they are nutrient dense. They are rich in antioxidants, and antioxidants are your best tool against EBV, hands down. Number 3, pick plant-based diets, plant-based ideas for holiday meals, meaning picked from whole foods. So they're unrefined, they're real, they're real ingredients. from foods that you can imagine growing, right? They are very rich in fiber in general, antioxidants, we already discussed that. But when you have any toxins, you need to excrete them. They have to go through your stool. And the fiber is the one that gets them there. It's very, very important to get that fiber in your diet. And a lot of the holiday foods have no fiber. That would be meat, that would be dairy, that would be eggs, that would be oils, fats, butter. Zero. Fish, zero fiber whatsoever. Number 4, pick recipes if you're going to cook anything that are very, very simple. If I have just a couple of things in my fridge and I'm trying to figure out how to make a simple recipe, I may go to a website called Minimalist Baker. This is a woman who has fantastic recipes, and her goal is to have 9 or fewer ingredients, like very, very simple. So you can always pick her brain and get some ideas. I often do. It's really easy. I have my iPod in the kitchen, plugged to Ethernet, and browse, find something, and look at my fridge. Make them simple. When you have organic ingredients, they are whole foods based and they are fresh, and you use herbs and spices, it's going to be delicious. And number 5, desserts. You don't have to go without desserts for holidays. I have an entire video training like this for desserts. I want to give you a tip that the best desserts, the healthiest desserts for EBV would be raw, so-called raw vegan. And the benefit is you don't have to bake and you don't have to use any refined ingredients. You can find a lot of them online. There's cookbooks. My only reservation is that many people in the raw food movement or vegan movement rely heavily on the sweetener called okay, I'm blanking here. Let me look at my notes. Agave syrup, of course. And agave syrup is just too high in fructose itself. It's not naturally well balanced between fructose and glucose. So I would much rather prefer to use more natural honey or maple syrup. And if you need to have a granular powder sugar instead of brown sugar, you could use coconut sugar, you can use date sugars. But with desserts that are raw and vegan, oftentimes you just need dates. You can soak them and apply them as a sweetener. And it's fantastic because dates have iron, dates have fiber, dates are dense nutritionally. It's not just refined sugar. So these recipes are delicious. I love raw vegan recipes. Not that they're vegan, we don't need a label, but it's just all from whole foods, from plant-based, and you don't even have to bake them. Now let's go to the worst strategies for holiday meals in terms of EBV. Okay, what you don't want to do, you don't want to eat, number 1, processed foods, food products. Like for example, with Thanksgiving, it would be pre-fried and put in a canister. I think it's fried onion rings or something like that. I've seen these and they may be delicious, but if you look at the ingredients, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. Please look at the ingredients. Please look at the ingredients of anything packaged that you buy. Literally, green peas in a can, green peas, water, sugar, salt. Why is there sugar, right? You would know unless you looked at the label. So please look. Number 2, fast foods. Not the time for fast food because this is a very stressful time. Avoid fast food. That is priority number 1. Don't be tempted, because we have studies black and white that fast food meals, just one fast food meal, increases NF-kappa B for a period of a couple of hours. I think it was 2 hours, very substantially. And NF-kappa B is a very inflammatory protein that is used by EBV to replicate. So the more of that you have in your body, the more excited EBV is to grow and reactivate. Now, number 3, minimize or reduce or take out wheat and possibly all gluten. I have an entire page dedicated to the blog about gluten scientifically in terms of EBV. What does that mean for us? And that's on our EBV help, HELP.com. So you go ahead and read that. We're going to have all the links below in our YouTube channel later under this. Number 4, eggs. Unfortunately, I would say up to 80% from my experience in the EBV community with chronic EBV will have problem with eggs. We're not fully in understanding of why. So I have an entire blog on eggs on our website. I have a chapter on it in my book. So you can just go for details, and I shared there what we know so far about that connection, EBV and eggs. And number 5 is dairy. Dairy is a complete story in itself. I'll just say stay away. It's very inflammatory and constipating as well. No fiber. Now, when it comes to being at the table and deciding, okay, I'm going to either host the dinner or I'm going to visit my family and sit at the dinner that my family hosts, here's 5 strategies. Number 1, delegate. If you're at home, delegate cooking to family members. If you're hosting, unfortunately, and you can't say no for complicated family-related reasons, suggest a potluck. Change things like, hey guys, I don't feel really well. I'm a little sick this season. Can we all decide to do potluck and everybody brings a dish, and you can cook just one dish that you really like. Number 2, and this is something that many people don't realize, I'd like you to consider stopping the meal when you are about 80% full. The reason being that as the stomach stretches to capacity, it takes about 20 minutes for the stomach to convey the message to the brain that it's completely full. And this is why at Thanksgiving, people roll over and fall asleep, and they just like almost explode because they go over that threshold and they don't know they need to stop at 80%. It's a health strategy if you want to try it. The next thing is have digestive enzymes with you. That's strategy number 3. I'm going to post links to our favorite, my personal favorite, my practice favorite, our community favorite, my patient's favorite, Isotonics digestive enzymes. They come in bottle and in packets. I would recommend the box with packets, sachets, because you can put a little sachet in your pocket or in your handbag. And literally with one sachet, it's a double dose of enzyme, which is fine. Then you mix the powder with 4 ounces of water. And with this enzyme, you drink it after a meal. And it's great if you have heavy meal, if it was very greasy and heavy on fat, and just if you overate, if it didn't agree with you, if it was, dairy, eggs, wheat, all of the things that you don't eat or you don't process very well, and you're also stressed, so you don't process it because you're stressed. If you have heartburn, indigestion, it really is magical. There's something about this particular formulation in making it in solution and drinking on top of a meal. So you always have this little backup if you feel, oh no, I'm starting to feel I have a lot of indigestion. I've used it many times in my travels to conferences, and it delivers like nothing else. Number 4 strategy, bring a dish. I remember when we talked at the beginning about people being self-conscious around you because your loved ones, at certain point don't know how to help you. They are helpless and disempowered, and it's very uncomfortable because we like to, if we have friends we love or family members we love, we want to support them and help them, but it means having a tool, having a solution, providing a solution, and people don't have that for EBV, right? And so it's very tricky. And then also with family members, food is very personal. And so here's my message to you. I know you're sick. I know, you may feel misunderstood. And honestly, you have good reason to. However, have compassion and empathy for everybody else that doesn't know how to relate to you. And meals and food is so personal, make it easy on them. So what I always suggest is make a dish that you love, that you know how to cook, that is like a party dish. So and make it and bring it. And don't make a big deal out of it. It's going to be probably, gluten-free, dairy-free, everything free. And maybe it has quinoa, this or that. And people are not used to it and they don't know what it is. And so here's how you roll. For example, you will find that recipe in my book. It's a black bean quinoa salad. It's fantastic. It's huge. It's perfect party food. And it's very well spiced. So no matter that people may not be familiar with some of the ingredients like quinoa, it doesn't matter. It does the trick. So because our EBV recovery students have this weekend homework when they cook out a storm, and this is one of the recipes, so they get really used to that recipe. Because they do and they fall in love with it, then, they take it to a potluck at a party with neighbors, or they take it to a holiday dinner. And they, it's something that they know, they're familiar with. It's easy to make. They've made it many times, so they're not experimenting. And then, oh my gosh, it didn't work. It doesn't taste right. What am I going to do? You don't want to experiment when you go into family gathering. So if you have something reliable like that, and people comment on this quinoa black bean salad that it's amazing. It's like, what is it? It tastes great. What am I eating? And so what you want to do is you want to downplay, oh, it's just a recipe, and you can say it's just a recipe, I'm sick, so it's just a recipe that my doctor recommends it, that her favorite. Or you can quote me, it's a recipe that was recommended by this EBV expert, and her favorite recipe, and I love it. So and you downplay and say, go ahead, give it a try if you want, but no pressure. I just love it, so I thought I could bring and share. That's it. You don't have to talk about health benefits. You don't talk, it's just about deliciousness and somebody's favorite that you shared. And you may have a different recipe, and maybe a health coach or your nutritionist recommended it. And just say it, this helps me and I love it. And walk away and change the topic, and not a big deal. Don't build up pressure for people to try it. And, they may be uncomfortable. Dinners like Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, these are traditional meals. People maybe are not ready to experiment and eat something else. Just keep that in mind, and just give people grace, and come with an open heart, and come with something to give and share without expectation. And this way you have a dish you can eat if other things are heavy. And as I said, grab the digestive enzymes, you can drink them after, you'll be fine. And number 5, this is the biggest thing. So I always say, I'm Polish, so my perspective is a little bit different. I think I'm more objective, looking at our American lifestyle and culture, and especially culinary culture. And one thing that I will tell you is, if you bring a foreigner to dinner, offer them dinner and give them iced water, in most cases, they will look at you like you're trying to kill them. So we like icy drinks, even in winter or in fall in America. I would urge you not to have icy drink of any kind during a festivity dinner with your family, because ice and cold shocks the stomach, and it loses the capacity to focus on digesting your meal. So it's actually digestive disaster. You don't want that. I suggest hot tea. You can sip hot tea as you eat. The heat is good. And we have a lot of herbal tea options. You can have green tea too. Again, I have entire blog on our website on antiviral herbal teas that you can pick, and an entire chapter in my book on that. I would recommend maybe chamomile tea for stress, melissa tea for stress. It's also antiviral, or dandelion tea for liver, to support the liver, because you're going to have a lot of fat, a lot of things for the liver to process. And just, you can bring it with you. I remember with my ex-husband's family at Thanksgiving, it can be awkward when Americans don't drink tea. I'm the only one. And I was requesting some tea. So I would often bring my tea bags and just ask them for some hot water so I can have my tea. And so, kept it low key. Now, the best 3 supplements that I promised you that I would say for holiday season. And okay, so digestive enzymes are a given. You're going to need them, and please consider, we're going to post the links to all the products below in the YouTube channel so that you can find them. So the first one would be activated B complex isotonics. This is my preferred B complex for myself, but you have to keep in mind that B vitamins also are part of your digestive support. People don't know they process your foods for you, but they are stress vitamins and they are depleted in stress. So literally, best vitamins you can take if you had to have alcohol and next day you have hangover, drink 2-3 doses of that B complex because you mix powder with water. It's isotonic. It's very effective. But during the holiday season, I would take 2 or even 3 of those doses. I would not double or triple any other supplement brand of B complex, but this one is safe because it's very conservative. It's a very different delivery. Extremely effective, almost like IV. So if you do like 2 or 3 a day, do it, start it before holidays so you can feel how much better you're feeling mentally and emotionally. You will be able to handle the family stress and the stress of heavy meals. That is really important because stress reactivates EBV. So holiday seasons is the prime time for reactivation. Number 2 is magnesium. We also have isotonics magnesium. Magnesium deficiency itself causes anxiety. Magnesium, along with B6, which would be in the B complex, produces, synthesizes GABA in your brain, which is the very relaxing neurotransmitter. And magnesium really is relaxing, muscle relaxing, and also emotionally relaxing. And the third supplement I would recommend is something that has been my patient's favorite for many, many years. And I take this combo. It's Bliss. It's a combination of adaptogenic herbs that is very effective for stress. And of all the combos of adaptogenic herbs from all kinds of brands of supplements that I've used over the years, actually this one really does hit the spot. It just has a perfect formulation of herbs. You can look at the ingredients first to make sure that it's something that you're not allergic to, but it is a really beautiful support in the stressful situation. So remember 3 things: breathe, pick simple recipes that you're familiar with, that you love, to share with others that you love. Give them the opportunity to taste something that you love. And most of all, enjoy the time with people you love and people that love you. At the end of the day, it's all about being together. That's all that matters. So we wish you happy holidays from us here at the EBV Global Institute. And make sure you grab our newsletter, you subscribe to our newsletter, because over the holiday season, we want to make sure we have even more support, more ideas for you. So this holiday season is the best so far for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next training.